Sorry. All right.
Hello, everybody. This is Berna Gençalp. I'm the director of Mihri documentary. And now we are with graphic designer, artist, Hanna Günther. And we will talk about the poster she designed for the film. I would like to tell you a bit about what we did for this collaborative work in general. Towards the end of the film, at the moment we are still in post-production, but it was the late 2021, still pandemic was going on. And in the first months of 2022, I reached out to graphic designer women who I knew, and they had talent, and they were very good at their jobs. And I asked them if they would be interested in designing a poster for the film, which is an independent documentary, feature documentary. So I also asked them if they had any other talented graphic designer women that they know of that would collaborate this project. And so through Ayşegül İzer, I reached out to Hanna, and she said yes, and she started to work. I shared a Drive file with the designers with some materials in it, visual materials, etc. And also I sent a link of the film to them so that they can watch before it's finished. And so Hanna went through everything I sent her, and she also wrote me lovely emails that really moved me and motivated me to go on, because the film's process took so long. It was so tiring. And so it was very nice meeting Hanna and working with Hanna. So, but first I want to ask you, who is Hanna? Can you tell us about yourself a little bit?
Yes, of course. Thanks for the lovely introduction. So I'm a graphic designer and illustrator working in Berlin, and I spent some time in Istanbul where I first got to meet Ayşenur. Although actually we got to meet in Berlin, but I was so happy when she reached out and asked if I wanted to be part of this project. And since I love independent movies and I'm really interested into aspiring stories of all kinds of creative women, it didn't take me long to decide that I wanted to be part of it. And then Berna sent me all these documents and all the research, and we got to talk. And I'm so glad that we went on this journey together, and I got to be part of your project. Thanks again for that.
Yeah. So what do you think of Mihri, and how do you feel about the film?
I think one of the things that struck me most was actually following you on your approach to follow her footsteps, because it made it really relatable. And it was such a nice introduction into the whole subject, because I've never heard of her before, which is so unfortunate, because I think especially for her time, it's been such an important woman, and she was really progressive for her time. And I think she made a lot of things easier for women following her footsteps, and also being so international and cosmopolitan for her time is really a standing out biography. So I loved to learn more about her, and I think your personal approach to her story was such a nice way to do it. And you just showed many aspects of her life and did that in a very honest way, I think. Also addressing that due to some of her works being still missing, that her biography offers some space for wild interpretation and also heroism in a way. And I think it's been so honest to address that. And by doing that, you actually made the whole story more authentic. And I think you probably came way closer to the actual Mihri by doing that. So I really like that about the movie. And of course, since I'm an illustrator, I loved the little animation parts, and it just all goes really nicely together and is really easy to follow. And yeah, I really liked and enjoyed the documentary.
Thank you. And can you tell us about the design you made for Kim Mihri film?
Yes, of course. If you want, I could just share the poster already, and then we can look at it together. So obviously we wanted to do a movie poster. And then after having watched the documentary, I was thinking of different aspects that really impressed me, thinking of Mihri. And as for her character, I think, especially for her time, she was such a determined woman, and she always knew what she wanted to do, and she didn't let anyone stop her in doing that. Even though it might have taken a little time, even though there might have been phases where she didn't exactly know where to start and maybe felt lonely and stranded because she was in like really different countries where society also has been different. She struck me as a very brave woman. So I definitely wanted to involve that in my design. And since in her time, it's been way more difficult compared to ours for women to make a name for themselves in the creative field, I also wanted to show her strong feminine side and incorporate that. And there also is this kind of mysterious aspect of her story because some of her artwork is still missing. So there's like a little mystery there. And I try to also incorporate that. And then obviously she's been living such a cosmopolitan life, always dressing very elegant, being in urban surroundings. So I didn't want to make it look old or anything, because I also think her story is so relevant even to women nowadays. So I hope that the poster looks very modern, even though the story has been a while ago. So I was trying to think of ways then how to combine my impressions of her. And I decided that I wanted to show her wild, brave side with the form. So I started to try out different techniques to find a form that was just the right amount of wild, I'd say. So I tried to start with the artistic techniques Mihri used. So mostly charcoal and crayons at first, but then actually the form looked a little bit too soft for her. So for a whole weekend, I was trying out different techniques and forms, and my apartment, to be honest, looked like a, I don't know, place of a person that's like mentally challenged. So that's been kind of funny. But after all, I found the right form, I think, and you can see that over here on the right bottom top. So it's a black acrylic form that I then digitalized and used as a basic for my illustration. And then I was thinking of colors, and I wanted to incorporate that little mystery side with misty blues and the violet, and also show vibrant other colors that are feminine and strong, so the red and pink, and also high contrasts to make it more interesting. And then to show her cosmopolitan, elegant side, I decided to show her in an active position, dressed very elegant, doing what she loved, so her painting, and then also incorporate all the different places where she lived. And you can also see the font in the right bottom, and it's called Rousseau. So the art deco side is also another element that I wanted to incorporate. And here we can see the first sketches. So at first I was thinking of including the animation line and the little elements you use there. And then showing her painting, and also in the background you can see elements of all the cities that she used to live in. And because I think that her story is also so important for feminism nowadays, I decided to let her paint all the national emblems of the countries that she lived in. So we can see the Statue of Liberty, and then the equivalent in France and Italy, which are in the background. And you can actually see how she's kind of interacting with them, because there's like this diagonal line. So it's pointing up and towards her journey that's lying ahead of her. And she's also deeply rooted in Istanbul, actually, and I didn't want to take away from her Turkish heritage. That's why you can see like the little Turkish tea glasses for chai at the bottom of her studio. And yeah, I think that's also been important because back in her time, actually the art school in Istanbul has been more progressive than in Paris. And I think that's also that's something that really catch my interest watching the documentary, because I think we tend to look at art history in a really Eurocentric way, and it's so important to challenge that and to look at other art history countries, or to look at the art history in other countries back at the time, and to compare it and actually see the process of getting inspired by each other and how the direction of that also happened, because there are tendencies in doing that, and I think it's important to challenge it. So yeah, I then digitalized my first sketch and tried out different colors, and you can see the result on the right side. So this is what I ended up with, and I'm quite happy with it. And yeah, I hope that it's possible to discover many elements there, just as like the little mermaid tower in the sea in the back and all these little things.
Wow.
So this is yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So this is the final result. I combined the font that has already been used in the documentary, Mihri, so who is Mihri? And combined the illustration with the wild brushstroke, so with the form that I wanted to use, and all the credits, obviously. And I added a little bit of a vignette to make it even more interesting and to really make it look like it's just been one wild move that she did on the canvas. And yeah, that's revealing her story, really.
Yeah, I think it's a lovely idea, Hanna. Really, thank you very much. Do you have one more slide to show?
I have the examples where I try to show how it might look if the poster is ready.
Yeah, it feels very good to see it on the streets, really.
Yeah, it's not going to take long.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Exactly.
Really, it's a very, very good idea, I would like to say. And it's a very impressive idea. Wish I had thought of this, or maybe wish we met before, you know. I could somehow put this idea into the film if I thought of it before, you know, or heard of this before from you. So I think really, I think it's a very, very good idea. It's a very impressive idea, and it's a very impressive poster. At the moment, only close circle of our friends have seen the posters from our team, you know. Mm-hmm. And for some of them, this is their favorite.
Thank you so much.
Everybody has a different favorite. Different graphic designer, and I love this variety because I really think it's not easy to tell Mihri in just one way. So I really love this variety, and I also love I'm really happy to, you know, get to know all of you, all these creative women. Mm-hmm. And I also hope that we will do an exhibition with these posters in the future when the film is out. I think this is possible in Turkey, or maybe in other countries. Also, I hope that I will reach out to some other graphic designers who are living, especially in the cities or in the countries that Mihri lived, so that maybe they can also collaborate with us, I'm thinking.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah. I tried to reach out, as you know, to some of my friends, especially in Paris. Unfortunately, I think they're busy doing Paris stuff. Maybe drinking coffee, but I think it shouldn't be too hard to find more graphic designers being interested in her story and taking part in the project, because I also think it's such a nice approach to include all these different graphic designers. And I think it's a lovely idea to make an exhibition out of it and not make it a contest in the beginning, but rather a collaborative project that everyone can take part in and bring in their own ideas.
It's not a competition of posters, or it's not a competition among the graphic designers. I'm just curious to see Mihri and the film from your perspectives. So it is lovely for me. It's a lovely experience for me, really, because it has been such a long ride and such a long process to conclude this film. So I'm very happy to meet other people who take this as an adventure, you know, just like me. I'm very happy to meet you. So I think soon we will open our page on our website, which we will show all these posters, and one of them is yours. So we will be announcing that through our social media, through our social media accounts for Kim Mihri Film. And so I hope people will follow us, and
I will make sure I share it on every channel I can.
Me and all the team, the producers, Yonca and Berat, they also thank you. We all thank you. Thank you very much for collaborating with us.
Of course, thank you for inviting me into the project. I love to do it, and it's been so nice getting to know you and being part of this. And I hope that eventually we're going to meet each other. It would be such a nice occasion to come back to Istanbul for the exhibition. So fingers crossed.
yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you very much. So bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right.